justice for all.
Thank you. Mike? Before we get into the meeting, I just want to clear something up. I knew it was some contention or misunderstanding about minutes at the last meeting. I think Mr. Troyan handled it perfectly. Minutes that we take at this meeting, whether the ZBA or the Board of, like anybody that takes minutes, they are not to be posted until they are approved by their board. That means we meet 2 weeks, that's when the minutes become official. You always hear the chairman say, are there any additions or corrections to the meeting? So they are not approved, they are not to be posted. Even the drafts are not to be posted. So if somebody wants to come in and look at the minutes, the draft, they're more than welcome to do that, but they will not be posted until they are approved. Okay. All right, we have a guest tonight, Sawyer Savior, Eagle Scout Project presentation. Sawyer is here, and Sawyer, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here today to present my Eagle Scout project. My name is Sawyer Savior. I'm currently a Life Scout at Troop 101 out of Auburn. So going into my Eagle project, I would like to host it at the Auburn Community Park, and I came here today to get permission from the trustees in the community to do so. So my project consists of planting 8 trees, about 1.5 inch caliber, that will come in bulbs. I'm thinking about red oaks, sweet gum, and a couple other species that have good fall colors. They're heavy, hardy trees, and I think it'll really beautify the park, as well as provide shade for the playground area, which I tend to see gets really hot on some summer days, which would really help with cooling the playground down. Also, I would want to build 2 to 3 bat houses accordingly along the tree line to reduce mosquitoes and all types of bugs there, just to make the park a little bit better than it is.
Okay. Questions for Sawyer? I have a few, but I'll open it up.
Okay, so if you're planning on locating the trees adjacent to the playground, on which side of the playground?
The west and the south side, so I measured it, it's 100 by 105 feet, so we're going to be planting a tree every 25 feet and at least 6 to 8 feet away from the playground as well. Those trees have big enough canopies to draw shade onto the playground from there.
When you said it's going to shade the playground, my first concern is this going to obstruct, as these trees grow over 20, 30 years, are they going to obstruct the playground?
No.
Somebody could get hurt?
Yeah, so we're planning on planting them a decent amount away from the playground so that the injuries couldn't really happen. It's mostly just to provide shade, and they'll grow really tall, and they won't stay low to the ground. They'll be big and tall, but I don't really think it'll cause any injuries in the near years.
How far from the playground area again?
I said I would say 6 to 8 feet.
Okay. Well, my experience with trees of this nature is that the root structure tends to follow the diameter of the canopy itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of distance, we'd have to be concerned about roots growing into the playground area, which would get into the wood chips there, and so we'd have to cut those down, and then you'd be basically shaving off the root structure on one side, which could make them, so I'd say you probably have to figure out what the 20-year diameter on the thing would be, how far you'd have to be away to keep the roots out of the playground area.
That sounds awful close to the playground area.
That's what I'm saying, 6 to 8 foot is.
Now, linden trees, I know a little bit about linden trees, have a tap root. They don't spread, they go straight down. That's why you see the city lots and stuff like that. Did you mention linden or?
No. I can look into that.
Okay. And you and I were gonna meet at the park to kind of get an idea for that.
Right.
Do we have any more questions?
No, that was only.
As far as the bat houses
That's
and
right.
stuff like that, that tree line is actually owned by the Western Reserve Land Conservancy. Before we do anything with their trees along that line, they have to approve it. So I was gonna call the gentleman from the Western Reserve, because I have to meet him anyway about our sewer project. Maybe we could do two at once, where he could meet us there, and maybe he could advise you as what would be or not be accepted as far as doing something like that on
They've
the
been
trees.
real good about
Yes.
benches. We did the bridges in there. There's a couple of kiosks, I think. They've been real good, just, they wanna know what's going on, because it's
Yeah, right.
essentially
Yeah,
they
so
they run the property.
Yeah.
I'd like to kind of coordinate those two with him on the same day. Now, are you in school? Are you a student?
Yes, school has started.
So
yeah.
you're in school during the day, so this would have to be on a weekend or?
Or an evening,
Or in the
yeah.
evening. Okay, let's see if I can get him to meet one of those dates. My schedule is pretty well booked the rest of this week, but early part of next week would be good. Is that good for you?
Oh, yeah,
in the evening?
yeah.
Why don't you leave, Sawyer, leave me your phone number, and I will call you after I get with the gentleman from the Land Conservancy, and the three of us can meet together, hopefully in the evening.
Okay.
When you say evening, you're out of school what time?
I get out of school at 2:15, so I could probably meet around 4:30.
Okay. Okay, give me your phone number.
440.
Just me. Go ahead.
424. 1734.
Okay, I got that. I will call you first part of next week, and we will meet and go over that. If anybody else wants to meet there, like Mr. Troy, I'm a little concerned of how close that is to the playground.
Yeah.
So we may want to look at that a little bit more. And maybe even the gentleman from the Western Reserve would have some suggestions for you on that too.
Thank
Okay?
you.
All right. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. Minute approval. I was not here, so I will open the floor for additions or corrections to the minutes. I did read them. And
I found them to be accurate. I didn't have any modifications, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
So moved.
Frank,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Okay, we have scheduled reports tonight, and we're going to start off with Frank Ditko.
Okay, gentlemen, you should all have a copy of activity for August, we brought this down, application. Here again, accessory structures seem to be the hot items, we have had 16 accessory structures. We did have one in ground floor. We had a denial, which will be, may or may not come back to the Board of Appeals, I don't know what they're going to do yet, they may just change the height restriction. We did, as you well know, that Mr. Bernardo has filed a suit against the Board of Appeals, the Township. I don't know where that is at this point, it's now in her hands. I have not heard anything new. I would like to address, I was not at the last meeting, but I understand there were some residents upset about two issues. One, the patio lounge. That has been addressed, letters have been sent, conversation on the phone with the powers to be. And to my knowledge, the music has stopped as far as being on the patio and after 10 o'clock. As far as the fence goes, I spoke with one of the partners today, and they may want to come meet with you, the trustees. That is a judgment entry situation, so anything that, to change that judgment entry has to go, you guys have, but they would have to set up a meeting and so forth, so I don't know exactly what they want to do yet, but I did speak with them. The other issue, the building on Auburn Road, which I have been there 22 times and have yet to see a vehicle, a truck, a trailer, or anything. The building does have 21 diesel trucks parked inside. They are his show trucks, his pulling trucks. It's Mr. Coonley. He did subsequently pull a permit for land disturbing, land clearing, which he has done. The mound that was discussed at the meeting is not dirt, it's mulch, and will be addressed when they're done with their clearing. Here again, a little bit of history on that building and the property. The property is still in the CUBA.
CAUB, yeah.
Yeah. And the
Agricultural.
building was built under agricultural situation, and therefore, here again, I've always said that agriculture structures may or may not become issues, but that's how the barn was originally built, or the building was originally built. Mr. Coonley, when he purchased it, he knows that, but there's nothing that says in our zone that he can't park his trucks inside that enclosed building.
Are they Coonley trucks or
They're
his personal
Coonley
trucks?
Yeah, he has, as you well know, he owns the drag raceway,
Right.
and he is into pulling trucks and show trucks, and that's what's in that building. He said that occasionally he sends guys there to polish and clean and work on those trucks, but that's it. That's all that's done there, that's all that's there. So, and there's nothing that says he can't do that. It's
So
just
these
like-
aren't his commercial transport trucks, these are,
Well, even if they were commercial transport cabs, there's nothing in our zoning that says that you or I can't bring our commercial truck home and park it in our garage. I mean, I have commercial plates on my pickup truck, I have to because of what I do, but, that's been asked of the prosecutor many times, and,
Yeah.
we don't have anything in there, in our zoning that says that can't be done, so.
The original owner of that property was here at the last meeting, and he gave a pretty thorough background of how that building got constructed, what
Right.
was going in there initially, and why it fit the agriculture description, at least right as it was constructed.
Right.
So,
Well, who was that?
Brian Greger.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
he was a lawnmower
He
guy.
was here, yeah, he was here.
Is that why it was built, for the lawnmower?
No, he farmed.
He
yeah.
farmed?
He
He still
farms.
does, he still does.
They still do
Yeah.
farming.
But he doesn't own it anymore, he sold
He
it?
Not
doesn't
that
own that
piece.
parcel.
Okay.
He owns the front house, I believe. and-
So the
Right.
bottom line is, so this came about, why? Somebody complained that,
Well, I
what
guess
brought
at
it
the
up?
last trustees meeting, there were several people here complaining about it.
They had said that there was multiple trucks coming in and out of there, up to
21, I think, was the.
21 trucks at a
How many
time.
trucks fit in that barn?
There is 21 trucks. I asked him today, point blank.
Well, I don't know how they were seen unless the door was
But
open.
there's
'cause
21
I've been
trucks. He
past
said there's
there.
21, first of all, there are no trailers. Let's get that, there are no trailers. There's 21 tractors. Either they're brand new, not on the road yet, or they're his show and pulling trucks.
Okay. So what, people were concerned, they saw Coonley and thought maybe they're dumping
Right.
stuff?
Well,
Okay.
they were concerned about the land clearing, and somebody said that they were building a big, huge mound of dirt. There is no mound of dirt, it is mulch.
And they're also concerned if they had trailers going in there with
Yeah, right,
the
working.
oil and the,
But there's not, I mean, they are clearing and, cutting trees and, dressing it up around the building and everything.
So the bottom line, he's not doing anything illegal or versus.
He didn't,
zoning.
he did not know that he needed a land disturbing permit, but he has.
Okay, so he's taking care of that, okay.
I just wanted to make, you know, I guess that, because.
Are any of those people here tonight? Anybody with that, had that concern? No? Okay.
You had Wing Road concerns.
I was patio,
Yeah.
after Frank was done, I was gonna raise my hand and ask some questions.
And I believe all that follow-up we talked about at that point has been done as well, as Frank mentioned. And as Township, we also put in a request for locating the center line of Wing Road.
Yeah.
And it's very, very tight to that building.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's
That's why there
extremely
is
tight.
the judgment entry to begin with.
Yeah, so that's been reestablished, I believe.
We own 2
Mark.
foot in one corner.
Huh?
We own 2 foot in one of the corners.
Yeah, I know.
There's paint for where the center line of wing is there. Yeah. County got right on that. They were quick about that.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think I saw him there
Yeah.
on last
So
Thursday.
I suggested to him that if he owns the building, but he does not run the business, the patio lounge part of it. And I said to him, if you think about it, but if you want to keep that low fence, you're gonna have to come to the trustees and just have a discussion about it.
The fence is supposed to be how high according
6
to our
feet high.
judgment? 6
Board on
feet?
board,
And how high is it right now?
3 feet high.
3 feet.
It was
So
6 foot, they cut it down.
The back section, the back piece that faces the parking lot is cut down to 3 feet.
So according to our, he's got to have a 6-foot fence.
Right, so I
Unless we
suggested
change
him,
the
that,
judgment entry.
Okay.
Yeah.
you know,
And
that
the
he
back-
either, if he wants to, if they want to do, they have to come back and discuss that with you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say in his defense, the parties that negotiated that for the previous,
Mhm.
did they go by KKR? Is that what they went by?
KKR.
Yeah. They're
All gone.
all, well, one's retired and one's deceased and one's in a different position and retired now too, so.
No,
You know, did the new people know about it?
I
Maybe.
believe 2 of them are passed away. Yeah. Kim
Well,
Robert, I believe.
If in fact he's in violation with the 3-foot fence, he needs to come in now, not
Yeah,
string it out for a
I
year.
said to him, I said, you talk with your tenant and you make a decision and you gotta either put the fence up or you gotta contact us and we gotta sit down and have a meeting.
Have we sent a letter stating that he has to?
I sent a letter,
Okay.
from zoning, we sent a letter,
Okay.
whether, I suggested that maybe you
Right.
guys should also send one, since the judgment entry is a binding legal document with the trustees and the court, you know, so.
So if you
He
send a
may
letter.
have to, actually, we have to ask Chrissy about this, that we may have to go to the court to modify if we decide to modify.
I would think it would.
Well, is it
Eventually,
right next to these people's house,
Yeah.
the fence? Well, then why would we want to modify it?
I don't think we would want to modify it. I
So
think we want
that's-
to have the fence put up, so it should be a pretty quick conversation.
And there's also provision, not only the fence height, but also the fact that it stipulates in the agreement that there's supposed, that back entryway that everybody uses to get in and out is actually supposed to be an alarmed entrance. In other words, only for egress,
Right.
in case of emergency, and it was never set up that way. It had a sign up there when it was first put up, but nothing was ever done about it. So, like I said, my request was that, hey, adhere to the intent in the letter of the agreement that was signed 12 years ago, or however long it was.
Well, Frank, do you have a question for Frank person before we?
Yeah, I do have, number one, if and when, if Kim and his individuals, be it lawyers or whoever, want to come in and have a meeting with the board, is that open to the public?
I don't see why not. I don't know why we'd have to go into executive session for that.
No.
I mean, the right is public, so I don't see why we couldn't discuss it in
Okay.
public.
I would like to be notified. I don't know how I'd find out that
I would think we
information.
would just do it at a trustees meeting myself.
Okay.
We wouldn't need a special meeting for that, I
Okay.
don't believe.
Yeah, and then,
An agreement with that, yeah.
That's very true.
the other things that I had brought up while I was here was about the garbage can and things, and getting that whole parking lot to adhere to standards that are set forth in the zoning laws for for businesses in Auburn. And the zoning laws we have set up because of the traffic concern that it causes with people going in and out willy-nilly.
I'm losing you there.
In
You
other
started
words-
with the garbage can.
Well, the garbage can sits right across from my driveway. It's been there.
And the garbage ends up in our ditch, down
Yeah.
the street, in our yard.
And it should be enclosed by the enclosure.
I was just gonna say, aren't most businesses, that
Well,
restaurants
it's-
and bars have the enclosures for, isn't that mandatory?
It's what the usually the Board of Health says that. but
Is that in
we'll
our
check into-
zoning book at all?
We'll check into that. We'll
Yes,
check
it
into
is.
that.
Okay.
Well, there was another issue too, I brought up to Jane, I don't know if she passed it on to you. That there was a buffer zone of trees with the adjacent property, which kind of blocks some of the headlights coming in and out of the parking
Oh,
lot.
yeah, thanks.
Okay? If we can address that somehow, see if there's any.
Well, I will look into it, like I said, I became aware of it after the meeting. We sent the letter, pulled the judge an entry and sent the letter, and I did speak with him on the phone, so.
Okay. Well, I think it would be great to get him in here as soon as possible if he has an issue with the fence or
All right,
whatever,
see what
and
we
we
can
can
do.
iron this out, and he needs to
Yeah.
understand what his
Well, oh, yes,
commitments are.
absolutely.
And they, just for, since I was at the last board meeting 2 weeks ago, they did play 2 Fridays ago, 2 Saturdays ago, they had a band there. I don't know whether or not Auburn had contacted
No,
them
we
at
had
that
not.
point.
No.
Okay, I'm just letting you guys know,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
I'm aware. I got
We'll
it.
do our best to alleviate your problem.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right, Frank, anything else that
Nope,
you're bringing
that's
up? No? Any questions for Frank on the board?
No.
Anybody else in the audience have a question for Frank? Okay, we'll move on. And now we'll go to Mr. Fenstermaker, our road superintendent, to give us an update of what's going on there.
Auburn Township Road Department report for September. Again, as it's been all summer, resident requests are just skyrocketing, mainly ditching, and believe it or not, we still have a lot of water issues even though it's been dry. I mean, there's just a lot of water issues everywhere.
What kind of water issues?
The ditches are just not, that they're wet, I mean, you can't even walk in them.
Yeah.
Still, it's just unbelievable. We get in, and we go into a development, like, let's say Carriage, and I start digging a ditch out, all the neighbors come. We're there. I try to do people as they call, but if we're right there and it's not a real long project, I'll take care of them while we're there, but that's been happening quite a bit too. As soon as we get into development, they all flock to you, and they want their ditches cleaned up. We did replace a couple signs at Sanctuary Golden Pine. They were a little faded. Did some ditching on Creighton. We did some coal patch work on Colchester. These are all resident requests, people call in. 2 ditching projects in Carriage. We did some ditching on Taylor May east of Auburn, ditching on Taylor May west of Quinn. 2 ditching projects on Woodacre. We did fix some erosion around a catch basin up on Riverwood. We picked up a deer on Stafford near Lucky Bell. 2 ditching projects on Saybrook. A ditching project on Lancaster. Some berm repair. We've had a lot of berm washout from all the rain we've had earlier in the summer, so we've done berm repair on Stella, Alex. Some berm repair on Thorpe, south of Bartholomew. Some ditching on Franks between Auburn and Munn. We got some calls from the road projects. Some people opted out of having their aprons paved, so they kind of just let those people go to take care of their aprons on how they wanted. Well, they started putting pavement in, they added almost 10 inches of pavement, and their cars were bottoming out trying to get out of the driveway. So the simplest thing to fix that was for us just to go over there and put some material in for them. Engineers called, people called me, and I just said, we'll take care of it. That way, that's the end of that issue. The street sign at Gottschalk Parkway, I don't know where it went, but it was gone. We replaced that. More ditching on Stafford, just west of 44. Ditching on Thorpe, south of Bartholomew. We did put a new mailbox up on Moreland. We're not exactly sure what happened, but they pulled all the mailboxes for the road project. They lay them in the next to the driveway. Somebody ran it over. We're not sure who.
We have suspicions.
We kind of know who, but it was just simpler for us just to purchase one and install it. And the lady was happy with that. We did do some ditching and rock line the ditch in the corner of Chanticleer and Taylor May. Again, that was just the erosion due to all the rain we've had. The roadside mower, he's been out every day that we don't need him. The only time I keep him in is if we're on a main road. We're working on a main road, we need some traffic control. I gotta have a guy in to keep an eye on traffic for safety. But other than that, he's been out pushing. We're really trying to focus on pushing everything back, getting it pushed back so that it's not growing into the road. So he's out trying to push all the way back to the telephone poles if possible. We have been doing a lot of grader patching. One of our employees quit, and he's the most efficient with the grader. So he said he would work with us for a few days and do some grader work. So we really hit that hard the last few days. Some of it was with Manaway. We split the cost. Any work we do on Crackle Road, we split the cost with Manaway.
Which end of Crackle?
We did extensive work west of Munn. We filled that whole thing in. There shouldn't be any issues down there. I don't know who called you, but it had to been before we were down there.
It's pretty rough.
Oh, it's gonna be rough.
Well,
It's
people
greater
are-
smear.
Well, it's better than it was before because of the
All
holes.
we can do is fill the holes.
People are looking for alternative routes now that Auburn Bainbridge is closed.
It was
at the
an
point.
absolute nightmare down there. We called the sheriff. I mean, cars were flying by. It was a traffic jam. I think the sheriff came down and I think they left. It was so bad
On Crackle?
on Crackle. I mean, it didn't dawn on me till we were done that Bainbridge Road was closed, and it was a nightmare down there. But we did get the other side done.
Well,
As soon as we pave it and it's smooth, the cars are gonna go too fast and we'll get complaints for speeding. So at least this will slow them down a little bit and they won't break their car. Then we worked on Crackle between Auburn and Thorpe. We got that done. We worked down on, we had a lot of truck traffic going down Stafford and Valley over to Regal due to the capital improvement project on Regal. So we repaired all of Stafford, and we went down Valley to Regal and repaired all that, which didn't hold up too bad from all the traffic.
I thought it held up very well. I told you, compliment. What do you think, Frank? That's your
So
section.
we did go down there and repair the edges of the road down there
when were you on Crackle, Wes?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, we worked on Crackle West. Thursday was Crackle in between there.
That's what we're gearing up for an issue 2 project. And
That's what I told some
right?
resident.
The road projects, the last time I'm off this week, so I haven't been down there today, but last Friday I looked, they were finishing up hydro seed. Looked like they needed to paint the stop bars. And there is a punch list that the county has for the contractor, and they're working through that punch list right now. And the county will not sign off until I okay, or you guys okay the punch list, before they can submit and get paid on the job. I did call the surveyors up, who I know pretty well up at the county, and they did take care of Wing Road for us there at the patio, gave us the center line. They didn't want to mark right away because the paint would be pretty much right on the building, so I said, no, just mark the center, mark the center line, and we can measure off of that 30 feet. And we know exactly where things are at right now. That's all I have.
Are there any questions from the board, for Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple. One for Dan. We used to always do an okay to pay when we would get these from the engineer for the $314,000. I know we're gonna pay it because they said pay it,
It's
so.
in the invoice.
Yeah, I saw that. In the past, when we did partials, we would always do it by motion. You want to do that, or you want to change that, or? When we get a letter from the, enclosed fine documents.
Well, you already approved it when you signed the PO.
Well, I know I did. But we always put this in the minutes as well, these letters came in.
It's fine.
Because it's significant payment. Trustees, please find documents related to payment of referenced invoice. Office recommends payment in the amount of $314,981.80 to Roniak Paving. It's for work completed through July 30th, not the final invoice. If you have any questions, please let me know. So I'm gonna make a motion just for old time's sake that we pay that invoice.
I'll second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. It's like Congress there.
Well, that came in right
I'd
after.
like this entered
right
into
after
the
last
minutes for-
meeting. We always did that when you had a big chunk of money that had to go out like that. Just adding to Mike's report a little bit, Stafford's gonna close at 44 next
So
week.
you'll sign them next week?
There's 4 phases to that project. So we'll be closed on the first 2 phases, because they'll have the barricades, they're gonna barricade right up to Stafford Road, and they're gonna keep 44 open, that'd be northbound, will be open. And then they'll move the barricades to the other side on 3 and 4, and when that, then there'll be a light, there's a light there. So you'll be able to get through with a light.
They close a few more roads, we won't be able to get out of here.
Well, don't forget, Haskins is closed.
I know.
They close Haskins, yeah, it's, yeah, the poor buses, I had a long conversation.
Yeah, I bet
with
the
the
school
buses.
had fun with all those closures, didn't they?
44 in Stafford was supposed to be done in July, but something, I think the bids all went over the estimate, so they had to
They
redo everything.
rebid it.
Yeah, so
The
that's
the
why-
last email I got said it's gonna be closed from September 8th, which should be next Monday, I believe, through the 22nd. Now, when you look at the road closure signs, it doesn't match up, but that's what the engineer from the state sent an email out.
They're moving real fast at the point there with that left and right-hand turn.
That's the county working on
Yeah,
that.
right.
Is that gonna be officially changed to Auburn Elbow now?
I don't know. Instead of the point?
Will that have a stoplight? I mean, will that have a light there then?
I can't
when that
imagine it
happens?
would with a light so close to mud.
No, it's not traffic.
Is it?
That's what I meant, a traffic light. Oh, my God.
That's
Pretty
2
sure.
lights pretty close to one another.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
Does anyone from the audience have a question for?
Anything on the truck that they're building?
Something happened with the build that it had to do with the grill, and when you open the hood, the grill was gonna interfere with the plow hitch, and it was on the builder. So it's back at the truck company, and they're working on the grill, so that we'll accept the plow. So it's not at Jutco, it's at Freightliner right now.
Okay, went back to Freightliner.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's handling everything, you know, he said it was my fault, I'm gonna take care of it, so
That's something
what's
they
going
would
on with the truck.
have worked on up front.
Yeah, you think.
An
It is a
ordeal.
plow truck.
We had an ordeal just getting it from the dealership to the Judco too,
Right.
with insurance.
Right.
And one more thing, and I'm just gonna bring this up, Mike, the roadside mower, which Pete's been doing, I think, a tremendous job with that. But we're having some issue, we had that gearbox rebuilt a month and a half, 2 months ago. Got issues there now again? Nothing came apart with that,
Not the gearbox.
not the gear, but where? What
The hydraulic motor on the gearbox
Hydraulic
blew
motor on the gearbox.
the bottom seal out. So it blew all the new grease out of that gearbox. So Friday, I filled it back up with grease. It's a liquid pourable grease, and we're gonna see if it's hurt the seal in that gearbox. So they're gonna check it. They should have checked it today, and they said if it's not leaking the grease, we have another hydraulic motor to put back on it. So hopefully it's up and running this week.
It's a piece of equipment that takes a lot of abuse. It's gonna be chronic, but I would say if there's anything outside of the realm of snow removal, maybe looking at a roadside mower attachment, not the tractor so much, I don't think. I think we're okay there.
I mean,
You know, going towards the end of the year, if we have any money left, we'll ask Dan, but
I mean, if something happened to that mower head, we do have the flail axe we can put on it, so we do have another head, and it kind of works, it'll get us by. We could do intersections that are problematic, you know, so we do have something to get by for the rest, if there's a problem with it. I'm not sure.
we're getting some good use out of it, so I want to make sure we have that piece of equipment available.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. Anyone from the audience have a question for?
Hey, Mike, what company's running all these lines down Stafford and Valley and into there? Just so you know, from
Oh, you mean all the fiber optic lines?
I guess it must be fiber optic. Well, they cut limbs off the trees and just left them there, and now
I
they're...
tried to track them down, and what you get is, that wasn't us, that was a different subcontractor. So basically what's happening is we're gonna have, and we've got a complaint over on Thorpe, and we're gonna just take the chipper out and clean up, because we don't know who's, we can't keep track of who's doing what, they're from out of state.
Well, it was kind of funny, because I came from Burton, and the lady that lives on the corner, they were working in the pine trees there, and
Did
she
they
was
cut all
out there
that?
screaming at them, I'm not going anywhere near the office right now. I think I did call Nancy and say, Nancy, you may be getting a call. Yeah, she was out there with her cell phone, and he was just, one guy was just throwing his hands up. you know.
Usually they don't speak very good English.
No.
But it's several different contractors in different areas of the township, basically. I mean, one contractor went down Thorpe, I stopped a contractor on Bartholomew, or Taylor May, one of the two, they've been everywhere. And he's like, that wasn't us, we didn't go down that road. You know, how do you police that? I have no idea. Just go around when there's complaints and I clean it up.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm just curious, is there any way for Auburn to know where fiber optic will or won't be installed in given areas, or expectations of, like, Wing Road? It's coming both ways down Washington, but it's stopped at the vet and it's stopped right over here at the corner. Do you guys have any insight, or is that just a business type of situation?
I don't have an answer to that. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not privy to it, it's not like they have
Okay,
to know.
no, I'm just, I don't know if there's a plan or anything like that, but I'd like to have fiber someday, everybody else does.
PJ would just like to have cable.
Oh, you're up near Stafford and all that.
East of 44.
Oh,
Yeah, so I've got Windstream, so they've got,
well, I'm stuck with Windstream forever.
Well, yeah, they've
So
got
am I.
the fiber optic going down there, but we're in a development, so,
Yeah.
you know, they got this nice fiber optic hooked into it with an extension cord to a, phone line that's going to all the houses, so.
Is that Spectrum doing that out my way on 44?
I don't know.
On the
I'm
state
so out of
route
it,
I think
I'm so
it
out
is.
of the loop, I don't even know what.
it is.
Yeah, I think it was,
I
somebody told me
think it is
that.
Spectrum, yeah.
You know,
Wasn't Spectrum the one that got the
Contract with
contract for
the
the,
state.
from the state, yeah, and they were supposed to get that whole,
we have,
Southeast
it's probably
area.
a couple of years old now, but remember Doug Nellis used to come in?
Yes.
with, and we had, at that point, real current maps as to what company was in what area. They're 2 years old now, and obviously they're doing some new construction out our way at least, on the east side. I don't know if it's around the entire town, but once they do something, they'll tell you. What they're proposing to do, you can't hold them to anything.
Yeah,
So,
it's a
yeah.
business decision. I was
Yeah.
just curious if there was any, because there was a lot of government money, of getting everybody wired up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a big push during the COVID thing with all of the fiber that was being laid everywhere else, except it seemed like my area.
Well, if they get to the point that their construction's done, we'll contact them, and they're happy to tell you where they are,
Yeah.
but they won't tell you what they're gonna do in the future. They
yeah,
just-
the only thing they seem to agree on is the fact that none of them are getting anywhere near PJ's house. Anything.
PJ still has one of those phones where you hold it by the neck and you talk into it and you dial like this.
Well, you gotta go up on
He
the
calls
roof.
it,
You gotta
yeah,
go up
you
on the
say-
roof like Green Acres.
Call
is what
in,
you gotta
Pete.
do.
Okay, all right. Michael Troyan. You're up.
Okay, well, all the stuff I was gonna talk about seemed to get blown into a vortex here and taken care of by y'all. So, what I got here is Nancy asked me if I would go over the, where we're at on the community picnic. It's gonna be 9:20 from 10 to 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 p.m. Music, we have Hank B. Free from 10 to 1, Jim Jacobs, the Prophet Van from 1 to 4. Food trucks, we'll have the Bus Stop Food Truck,
Hey,
Romeo's Pizza, Michael's Lunchbox Food Truck, AKA Eileen's Auto Beverage, Auburn Beverage, White Barn Brand Coffee, Pastries and Flour Truck,
is that the new coffee guy down at the corner?
He was there last year.
White Barn,
Yeah.
White Barn Brands Coffee, is that who that is?
I believe so, yes.
He bought
Bruno
some.
Freight owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Event Novelty Truck, Ice Cream Treats, and the Connecticut Water Truck. Fun, we will have the climbing wall and membership drive for the Boy Scout Troop 101. Hay rides, Carl Snyder, thank you. And the cool hay wagon whisperer and tractor driver, that's referred to as here. Wagons donated by Joanne Edick. And wagon attendants are volunteers and found through the Boy Scouts 101. We have inflatable body balls and soccer goal nets donated by the pond. We have the high striker, bounce houses, 2 of them with attendants. Bubble station, cornhole, limbo, kerplunk, ladder toss game, tic-tac-toe, frisbee, hoop loss, hoops, and the guessing game. Giveaways will be Auburn Township recycling shopping bags, popcorn, and Sunrise Spring Water, which was donated. And that's where we're at so far, so mark your calendars for September 20th and hope it doesn't rain this year.
Mr. Kavanaugh,
Just a couple things, one of which is on the agenda. Very end of July, like totally last minute, we became aware of a grant through the Department of Commerce for cemetery improvements. Not a big thing, it's, I think it's $200,000 they spread over the entire state. It's also not a grant possibility I think that many townships are aware of. And Nancy and I got to talking, we just gotten in the quote to clean up over there by where we took the big maple tree out at the far side here. And it fit the parameters of what was available almost perfectly. And we got that grant. We totally last minute did this, but we have a grant for $2,070.39. And it must be used to clear the overgrown area where the tree was removed.
I
So,
asked
pretty proud of
Nancy,
that.
yeah, that's great. I asked Nancy about that today. Her question was she didn't know who should sign it, me or her. And did she tell anybody?
That I don't know.
Trustee, me. I got the answer right here, me. Okay. Do we need a motion for this or anything, or we just?
I think we should acknowledge it, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to accept that grant from the Ohio Department of Commerce for cemetery improvement.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Mike,
Yes.
EJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. And there it is, it's signed.
Okay, another thing that we talked about, though, this just came in at the last meeting, I think, was that list of township residents or former residents that were due money for the levy that was collected for 3 years and should not have been. The county auditor's office is handling that program, although they've outsourced this to a company out of Florida. I think Nancy has that list of names posted online. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 120-ish, maybe more than that.
It's
Probably.
also back there on the board.
Is it here too? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably, I think it's around 70-some thousand still has not been dispersed as it should have been. I can tell you, I went through that list. It was kind of an interesting thing to do, and I found about 10 people that just happened to have their numbers in my phone. And we referred them up to the auditor's office. And 2 days later, the auditor called Nancy and said, please stop doing that, they're swamping our phones. So I was kind of proud of that anyway. But they're supposed to be getting paperwork to this company in Florida. And there's a deadline for at least this round. Now, from what I hear, this is gonna happen one more time, but I wouldn't count on that. If you're unsure of whether you got that check or not, please check that list that we have available. This is your money, you should get it back. If not, it's gonna go to Columbus and it's gonna be put in the.
New Brown Stadium.
In the new Brad, it's gonna go to the Haslams, that's correct. So if that's what you're in favor of.
So
Well,
who are
don't
they
get-
supposed to call?
Get your money back, huh?
Who are they supposed to call then?
There's, the contact is on, I believe, our website now too. It's an outfit in Florida.
It's called American Legal, it's a
Yeah,
law firm. And I believe you have to fill out a form and,
it's a very easy form. I
Yeah,
filled out, because I'm on that list too. It's just sign, date, send it away. But the deadline to do that is a week from yesterday, so it'll be like next Monday. And that information's available, I'm pretty sure, on our website. And if not, call the auditor, because that's what they're supposed to do. That's all I got.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, I have nothing. As you know, I was not here at the last meeting, but I did, and I saw in the minutes, I did attend the budget hearing with Dan. Dan is commended, he's doing a great job at the budget hearing, and so keep up the good work, Dan. And I'll pass it on to you.
okay, since our last meeting, I processed 11 electronic payments totaling $36,214.66, and processed 14 warrants totaling $703,771.41, totaling $739,986.07. The bulk of that were 2 payments, one PJ already mentioned, to Roniak Paving, and the second payment was for $370,499.20, which is our third of 3 contact payments to the Auburn Fire Department for this year. So that made up the bulk of it. I was able to balance the books for August, and we had on August 31st in our primary checking $1,981,057.69, which will get depleted when they cash those 2 checks, or a big portion of it. And in our Star Ohio balance account, we've got $2,248,362.42. We've been averaging about 4% a month in that Star Ohio, roughly about $8,000 a month we've been getting in dividends. So at the end of the month, we had $4,229,420.11. I might as well, this is new business, but the county gave me this resolution at the the Budget Commission hearing. It's a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
That's
Order.
resolution 2025-13. right?
Correct. And it's resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, in accordance with the provisions of law, as previously adopted a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing on January 1st, 2026. And whereas the Budget Commission of Geauga County, Ohio, has certified its action thereon to this board, together with an estimate by the county auditor for the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by this board, and what part thereof is without and what part within the 10 mil tax limitation. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township of Geauga County, Ohio, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted. And be it further resolved that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said Auburn Township the rate of each tax necessary to be leveled within and without the 10 mil limitation as follows. So on Schedule A in the general fund, which is what we get levies derived from the inside 10 mil limitation, 1.4 mils go into the general fund, a total of $557,854, and 1.6 mils go, totaling $637,548 go into road and bridge levy fund. Our fire levy fund, oh, and then there's an additional 4.65 mils that represents 4 levies, road and bridge levies totaling an additional to the inside millage, $1,347,092. Our fire levy fund generates from 2 fire levies, 3.5 mils, $952,077. No, that's just the one, 3.5 mil. The other fire levy fund is a 1.8, and those are both continuing levies. Generates, the 1.8 mil levy generates $504,176. And then this other page just lists all the individual levies. So I need a motion and a second to accept the resolution.
So
Yeah,
moved.
yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Gene?
Yes.
And I have one last little tidbit of information. I don't know if you guys noticed, I went up to the hitching post to get gas and they were closed this
We
morning.
were closed last week.
And
Friday.
so I went back up this afternoon and they're no longer Exxon Mobil, they're now Amoco, BP.
Is that why it went from 299 to 313?
It's 319 today.
Yeah, because I was there this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just out of the blue, I didn't. So my Exxon Mobil credit card that gets 10 cents off a gallon is no good there anymore.
Right.
My wife called and said, hey, it won't take my credit card.
Nope.
So, but they have another credit card that you can apply for, and you can get, I guess, up to 15 cents off a gallon, and 50 cents off a gallon for the first 3 months, so. Whatever.
Good thing it went down, field tax.
Yeah, that's going
Yeah,
very
that'd be a
well, too.
surprise, wouldn't it? That
Yeah.
would.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's it. Before I forget and go into new business, Nancy told me that, as you guys know, especially Mike and I, the League of Women Voters is having their Meet the Candidates or whatever at Kenston here coming up, and they would like someone to come and speak out that we're having, but it cannot be delivered by someone who's up.
Yeah, they used
They're
to let
up.
you do double
Right,
dip on that,
right.
but I guess they don't want to do that
So
anymore.
it has to come down to either Mr. Kavanaugh or Dan.
Well,
So-
Dan's about as big an egghead as I am, he'll probably be there anyway, so I'm thinking we'll thumb wrestle right before it happens.
So that means you
One
both
of
have
us
to be
will-
prepared in
One
the
of us will
room.
do it, so.
You know, I think we should have a trial run of who can really deliver.
It's just a renewal, I mean, it is.
Well, now, you're out already. You gotta
I'm
have, you
sure
gotta say
once-
some passion. in
Yeah, that's new that they won't let a candidate for office do the levy, but we'll do it, somebody will,
Okay.
Dan, if you're going.
Yeah,
A bunch of
Not
rules
I'll
they've
do it.
changed. The last election, if you were uncontested, they wouldn't let that's it, you didn't go up there. And when we
We're
went
going
up there,
anyway.
we weren't even invited,
I
so.
don't care.
That's true.
Okay. All right, new business. So we took care of the first thing, the resolution. Second, sign the agreement with the Ohio Department of Commerce, Division of Real Estate, for the $2,070 cemetery grant. We already did that, okay. Designate William Coons as proxy for the NOPEC annual meeting, and so we need to do that. Is there a motion to designate William
So
Coons?
moved.
There's a second.
You seconded, Gene?
No, PJ did.
Oh, PJ. Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Gene?
Yes. Franchise fees received, Charter Communications, $4,690.05. I don't think there's anything to do on that.
I would like to make a motion to put that into the land acquisition and improvement fund.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, I'll second it.
Mike,
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Last but not least, to accept or reject the Geauga Engineer's Office address recommendation of 19122 Munn Road for parcel 01-0393700.
I would like to make a motion to accept their recommendation.
Second.
Is that the one we've been talking about, next to my house? No, hell, I ain't going for that. No, I'm kidding.
You don't have
I'm
to.
kidding. Okay.
They're gonna do it anyway, so.
Mike,
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Okay. All right, we have some save the dates. On 9/2, the BZA was meeting tonight not to go over any minutes or meetings. They were interviewing people, I believe, for secretary for tonight. Yeah. On 9/15, there'll be a public hearing for ZC 2025-01 at 6:15, then ZC 2025-02 at 6:30, and ZC 2025-03 at 6:45. These are new additions to the zoning that trustees, you guys set the meetings for to go over.
Yeah, we'll be here
Okay.
next, week from yesterday.
And that'll be
2
the
weeks
same
from
day as our Board of Trustees meeting, but the next trustees meeting to do those issues will start at 6 PM.
You know what's that?
9/22/25, honor our first responders at Kenston High School football. I thought they did that at the last football.
We did,
Why does it say 9/22?
don't know.
No, that was last week. I
Yeah.
attended.
Okay. 9/20, the Auburn Community Picnic and Junk in the Trunk Fest at the Auburn Community Park, and Mr. Troyan already gave you the time, so at 10 to 4, you said, Mike?
Correct.
Okay, and on 9/25, the zoning commission meeting at the administration building will be at 7 o'clock. And the following Saturday, 09/27, the volunteer fire department clam bake, pre-sale tickets only. Is there a phone number for that, chief, to call?
It's on the flyer,
What flyer?
they're up on
The
the
flyer on the board.
front
Okay.
window.
All right. Is there anything from members of the board that they want to bring up or discuss at this time before we end the meeting? No. Is there anyone from the audience that would have something else to address the board before we adjourn? With that, I'll designate to hear a motion to end the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay.
Mike,
Yes.
TJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we'll see you at the next meeting.